Today we're on our segment Foodie Eats, and we're gonna enjoy some delicious Italian sausage lasagna. And this is what you're gonna need to make this meal. Alright, so first we're gonna start this a little bit different. So we wanna get you a boiling pot of water. I like to use the big pots because you want these noodles to not break. You wanna leave them the way they are. So we're gonna put these in. The water is at a boiling point. And we have to keep a close eye on this. You're gonna cook this anywhere between 12 and 14 minutes. Add a little kosher salt. Let it boil. So after we're done rinsing the noodles and we drained it, it's always good to prevent sticking from putting some extra virgin olive oil. So I use about a half a teaspoon, or you can use a whole teaspoon. But see how these aren't sticking and they're ready to be laid. All right, so now since our Italian sausage is all brown, as you can see, we're gonna add our cannellini tomato paste. Okay, so now while that's still cooking for about 3 to 4 minutes, while that sauce gets all in that Italian sausage, we're gonna make the meat sauce. We're gonna do about 1.5 pounds. So it's like 1.5 of the jars, 1 pound each. Okay, I gotta record it. So while the meat sauce is cooking, which is going to cook for about 8 to 10 minutes, we are going to start on our cheese mixture sauce. So I got 1 pound of cottage cheese. Now some people use ricotta, but this is what I prefer to use. It tastes so much more creamier in the inside. And then you add 1 egg, and we're going to do 1.5 pounds of the cheese mixture. So I just turned on the oven to 375 so we can get our prep ready. And I'm going to use some extra virgin olive oil to keep this lasagna pan nice greased, because we do not want it sticking. And then I kind of drizzle down the middle just a little bit. There you go. And move it around. We have a little bit of oil. And then I'm going to add a very thin layer of sauce to the bottom of the pan. Very thin layer. Get a bigger scoop so I can move it around. So just move it around just to cover the bottom of that pan. So we are ready to put our lasagna in the oven. Got it nice and cheesy. We're gonna add the last finishing touch, a little bit of parsley, and put it in the oven for 45 to 50 minutes. We'll see you then. crank it up to 400 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes to give it that crisp look. And we're gonna let this sit for 10 minutes or 15 minutes before we cut it. Alright guys, we let it sit for about 10 minutes and now it's time to cut it. Zoom in. Alright, so we let it sit for about 10 minutes after we had cut it. Look at that. That way it's not falling apart too bad. I have hungry people at my house, so I'm being a little bit rushed. Look at that. And I like to add a little bit of Parmesan, because the more cheese, the better. There it is, homemade lasagna, people. Time for the taste test. There y'all go, people. Homemade lasagna. Thank you for joining Shar Eats. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time.